attendance here. I see Caffeine, I see Sheth, I see Biceps, I see Pythix. Apparently, the bug is we can never see the 10th person. Uh,
Yeah.
on
It's Jinte, Zuna, I Dream,
I
Bishku, and Bobby Hankill.
Yeah, and I have encountered these guys in solo queues, and I can definitely say that they've pushed me back down into low diamond instead of high diamond. I don't put a lot of things into the hot slogs, but watching the fact that I was like top 100 diamond and I've never uploaded anything, that was pretty cool. And then 2 days later, after I ran into all these guys, it was like at the very bottom. Like, oh, all right, cool.
It's a lot of fun, man. Seeing all these guys hop into the scene is pretty fun.
Now, my question is, after this, how many of them are actually going to stick around? How
I-
many of these guys are going to stick into heroes?
I'm hoping a lot of them. I mean, it's gonna be really exciting to see like who sticks and who doesn't. A lot of those league guys might actually find out they like the game quite a bit.
All right, I'm going to take us off of the drafting because nothing's happening. Apparently, they're really debating on what kind of maps they want to do. So, all right, sure, take off your headphones. You got to stay with me.
Well, yeah, I know, but
So yeah, I'm curious. Like, how many of these names are going to be sticking with us? How many are going to stay with the team, build up the team, that kind of jazz? Because like Naniwa on Fnatic, I think he's on Fnatic. Yeah, he has to be on Fnatic. Like, I don't foresee him sticking around, but I have been seeing a lot of StarCraft players in and amongst the game. I mean, we got Chef, LZ Gamer, we got Idra. I know Vortex and Lucifron still dedicate a lot of time to StarCraft, but at the same time, they were really high MMR
yeah,
heroes. So, like, the cross pollination right there is actually really strong between the games.
yeah, definitely. I can't really tell what's gonna happen just because it's like they just announced the teams. They already said that Fnatic isn't sticking around after the tournament goes down, so uh, it's up in the air.
But will the players stick around? That's what I'm curious about.
Maybe. I mean, StarCraft has been losing steam steadily, like over the past
Maybe
like year
that
and a
legacy of
half.
the void, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they it might bump up once they talk about Legacy, but I think Heroes might be taking over. They're big esports giant along with Hearthstone.
Well, I mean, I think StarCraft. Can you think of any other RTS right now played competitively at major events that's not StarCraft? Can you name any of the others?
No. Well, no.
Company of Heroes had a bit of a stint, but it's kind of very much in the background now. Everything
Yeah.
else is kind of MOBA or first person. Hearthstone is kind of dominating in its own market. There's
We
no
could
Command and Conquers. Warcraft 4 does not exist.
truth. I mean, we could see. Who knows what we'll see at BlizzCon? Could be some pretty interesting stuff going on.
Give me Warcraft 4, man. Like Warcraft 3 for its time was so good. So good.
Yeah.
People still play like there's still Warcraft 3 tournaments. They're just not at anything major. I mean, uh, the World Cyber Games had their last hurrah for Warcraft 3 last year and they went bankrupt. Whatever they just had a Hearthstone tournament out in China. They had Warcraft 3 there. But like you're only getting a few hundred people in a stream now.
Yeah. Yep. It is not a good sign for those guys.
All right, let's take a quick look at the draft. Still waiting on Cloud9 here. Come on, Cloud9.
What's going on, guys?
Well, we're just gonna have to wait for them. I mean, Team Liquid is here. Of course, they are in the chat, guys. You have any questions about them? I'm sure that you could probably poke and prod them into getting something going on. Let's take a quick look at the chat. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Fnatic are just bad, lol. All right, just names. Sammy the Wisp has a lot of faith in them.
You have no idea what we're going to see, though. They could be practicing more than any other team right now. They have the time. So we could be in for a surprise at BlizzCon. You never know.
Naniwell retired what? Earlier this year? Earlier last year? It's fairly recent, I feel.
Hey, he's got to fill his time with something.
When did he retire? Is within the last year, I want to say, that he retired. And then, Shushay was actually a bit of a shock to see. I mean, Shushay, I covered a lot of Shushay in the early days of Fnatic, in the early days of League of Legends. And he was a powerhouse, man. Like, I think might have been the first featured streamer as well from Riot. He was playing Santa Gragas dressed up as Santa Gragas. Like, the Santa Gragas inception was real.
I don't know which one's the real Gragas.
And that was when like 10,000 viewers was a lot. Like if you had 10,000 viewers, you were on top of the world. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
that good back then.
I'm really curious, like, to see how like the heroes community is going to turn out that in that way. I mean, we see people like ZPs and Soldier and everyone getting steady increase in viewers over the next like past couple of months. I mean, at one point I saw ZPs at like 330 viewers, which is pretty good for the scene as it is right now.
Well, we are growing our own local celebrities. I mean, now with the community bashes, the brawl with the Blues,
Hmm.
that could only really do better things for our community because you're now promoting from within. So it kind of made sense. Dunk Train was there, Chef, LZ Gamer, Kai Berries. A lot of them were there.
For sure. Looking forward to more of those. This actually looked like a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, Trickster's a fun guy to play around with, and at the same time, everyone kind of knows more or less the meta. They know various tricks and the tips and the meta for every map. So when you get high-level players doing that, you're ready to go. And speaking of ready to go, apparently we are live, and yes, we are. Look at that. We're going to get into game number 1, picks and bans here, ladies and gentlemen. So we are ready to roll. Thank you so much for your patience here on behalf of the HBL, Cloud9, and Team Liquid, using our in-house banning tool. Get hyped, D-Day. Get hyped.
Woo! Looking forward to this game. Really excited. It gives us like a demonstration of what's going to happen at BlizzCon.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what kind of power Cloud9 is punching. Like, personally, I think, Dunk Train and crew, they're fantastic, but I've not seen any of these other guys. So it's kind of like a dark horse situation.
Definitely. With that Team Liquid logo, Dark Horse. Yeah.
Fair enough. Zoya box, Zoya TV. Yeah, Zoya does have access to front page, so he gets a few views every now and then. Shout out to Zoya. He's doing good work there. All right, let's focus on this one. All right, D-Day. First ban, Tychus. This is a first for me.
First Tychus ban, yeah. Pretty out there.
What map we're on?
Got a Nova ban here too, actually, with Team Liquid banning Nova.
All right, so for your reference, it's Haunted Mines, Tychus, Nova are going to be the bans.
Okay. Makes sense.
A little bit more sense. Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Tasser is the first pick. Why the Nova ban, though? Tell me a little bit about that.
Honestly, I think that they might be worried about her damage output early on, and being able to force someone out of mines.
Mm-hmm.
Because with her damage output and in particular being able to sneak around, pop someone really quick, get them out of the fight, make it so that their 5v4 engage is just going to blow them out of the water, work for that 100 skull golem, and just run through them.
This also deserves a little bit of craft music. All right. You can definitely blow up somebody. I will agree with you there. A very powerful burst champ. And at the same time, I'm also a little sad. I don't get to sit on the train on the Nova, because I know it's a big favorite pick of his. Flip side, though, a very strong front line coming out from Team Liquid. We got Arthas and Tyrio, and especially on this map. I mean, Arthas can solo pretty much any Merc camps, and you throw him down into the mines, he can clean up skulls in a very quick order.
Definitely. And the thing is that how quick they picked Arthas Tyrio. They knew instantly they wanted those two heroes to be on their front line.
Do you think it was planned? Just said, all right, if they're not going to take any of these, bam, done?
Definitely. I mean, Arthas Tyrio on this map in particular is going to lock someone out or basically just shield the entire team. It's a very, very good early engage because of Tyrio's shield.
And the shield is, as I said, I mean, God tier kind of solo. He has the shields. He can give the shields to others, just like Chen a little bit later on with the talents. Very good picks overall. Uther and Vala, cannot say I'm really too surprised there.
Neither can I. Uther, Vala, very, very strong picks, especially in Honda Mines. Uther with his stun being able to lock someone down really quick, keep someone out of the fight. In particular, like Nova, if she's caught out, she's just going to die, especially with Tassadar around.
And the Tassadar, I'm a little curious if we don't take a Rhaegar here, I think a Rhaegar could be a very strong pick for Cloud9 after that.
They're looking like they're going for that Bloodlust comp.
And we'll have to see if Team Liquid realizes that, takes it, or just wants to deal with it. Because if they can deal with it in flying colors, then there's no reason to kind of sacrifice one of your picks for it. But either way, we got the front line here from Liquid. Nova and Tychus are going to be out. Vala's already on the board. That kind of leaves us with a Falstead, and I'm kind of thinking like a Rainer at this point.
Yeah, I could see a Rainer with that speed, the attack speed boot buff. Will work out very, very well, especially early on. Um, the first mind fight is really going to tell us how the game is going to go. It could be really quick. It could be really long. You never know.
Lily Murky. I don't think we're going to see Lily Murky, guys. That's not happening here. We do got a Falstead on the table, though. We're still looking for support. I was kind of thinking, like, at this point, if they're not going to take the Rhaegar, the other team probably will. But we still have Brightwing, we still have the Malfurion. And the Malfurion with the roots, the Tranquility, or even just go all balls to the walls DPS with the Silence. I think that could definitely go well with Liquid here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they have a ton of options open to them right now.
They do. And we're still waiting for that little second pick. You can feel the teams discussing it in orderly fashion.
I mean, I could honestly see them pick up Rhaegar just to counter, like, just to make sure they can't get anything else.
I'm very curious. Who's it going to be? Kerrigan!
I haven't seen Kerrigan in a while.
No. All right. Haven't seen her in a while, but at the same time, when she roams with an Arthas, because it's a 2-lane map, we know it's Haunted Mines. An Arthas Kerrigan roam is extremely powerful, especially at level 4 with the double envenom.
Definitely. You have to be really careful with Kerrigan now, though, because of the range reduction in her grasp. You have to hit it. If you miss it, just going to waste mana and not going to get anywhere with it.
All right, an extremely tanky front line going to be coming out here from Cloud9 to answer. And so the combo of Uther, Chen, and Anubarak. And Anubarak and Chen, we saw this combo earlier. I mean, the body blocking can get extremely real with the both of them as they both have tools to get behind that front line and just kind of create a wall of flesh that is impassable at this point. What do you think of that for the Haunted Mines to await the support pick here for Team Liquid?
I think that it might not have been the best pick for Haunted Mines. Arthas and Tyrael are both a little bit better in that matchup just because they, like, the disruption isn't what that you want to count on right now. It's more of who can kill who first. I mean, they have Uther for heals and they have Tasser for shields. Chen, I don't know if they'll go for the AoE shielding. I know if to share like we saw a couple games ago. But it's just that Liquid has such a strong early game composition that could just decimate the entire team.
Well, we got 10 seconds left on the clock. The last pick is going to be actually that Malfurion. So he's either... basically, you got one of two choices at this point. It's the Tranquility to keep your time alive, or if you think that your team can handle it, go for the Silence and just destroy them. So we're going to have to see how this goes. Cloud9 and Team Liquid do have their picks and bans on the board. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure you're ready up there in the client, Mr. D-Day, because when they're ready, we're ready. We're going to get this game number 1 rolling. I'm actually very curious. Chat, who is your thoughts after these picks on Haunted Mines? I'm very interested to see. What are your thoughts, D-Day?
I think that Liquid is going to have a very good early game composition. If they let it go in the late game, Cloud9 is going to have a big advantage. Just because of the tankiness of their team and the sustained damage that they have from Tassadar and Vala.
Okay.
I mean, there's not much they can do about it if it goes to the late game. It's going to be really, really difficult for them to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're up to 7 out of 10 players ready. We're going to jump into this game number 1, Haunted Mines.
I am not in the game.
You're not in the game? Oh, balls.
No.
There you are. Invite to game.
Yeah, might need that. I was just kind of sitting there waiting, like,
So sorry about that, sir. You have joined the lobby. We are now ready to roll.
Yeah, there we go.
Again, that's the draft. Game 1, Haunted Mines, guys. Basically, just waiting for them to pull the trigger at this point. Once they pull the trigger, we'll carry on over. I've seen a lot of new people actually joining up. So again, Heroes Premier League After Show, guys, here, week 4, day 1. We saw Symbiote Gaming take a 2-0. We saw 2Art Gaming actually take a 2-0. Really good stuff for them, putting some points up on the board. And this is, just a show match. In fact, I actually have an overlay for this show match, believe it or not.
Oh, a special one.
I know, right? Because I totally forgot to put it up. Current, bam. There you go, show match. Cloud9 and Team Liquid. 9 out of 10. We're getting close, guys. I can feel the hype. 10 out of 10 ready. We're going to get this rolling.
Let's do this.
4, 3. I have no idea which side is actually going to be which side, but we're jumping in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Haunted Mines. Hopefully you've put down your bets. We need to get the Salty Bet Casino in here. That's what we need to do. 390 viewers hype. A good taste of what's to come here at BlizzCon.
Let's see what they got. See what Cloud9 can do.
Now, Haunted Mines, 2 lanes. We don't have a Nova. We do have a lot of DPS on both sides. Typically, I've seen a lot of pro teams go for a 1-4 split.
It's typically what you want to do on this map, just because you could do a 1-1 split with 3 roaming with a gang squad, which is, I think, what we'll see with Liquid here, just because they have the Arthas Kerrigan combination.
Yeah. All right. I really do expect to see, actually, the roaming as well. So, all right, introducing here on the left side, Liquid Chef on the Malfurion. We're going to have King Caffeine on the Tyrael, Pythix there on the Falstead. We got Dunk Train on the Arthas, and Biceps on the Kerrigan. Who's on the flip side here from Cloud9, sir?
We have Jinte on Tassadar. We have Zuna on Anubarak, Bobby Hank Hill on Chen, Bichu on Vala, and I Dream on Uther.
They are staying a very close 5 as both teams go out to their watchtowers, getting that vision. And as 5, they're actually going to roam top, and it looks like they're going to camp out this bush. I almost feel like I'm back in the League of Legends. That bush. The flip side, though, Team Liquid not having any of it. They're going to be down into the bottom area.
It seems like they know the tricks. The tricks of the League players.
And it does look like a 4-1 split will come out. You see Jintai going to be heading by. Nobody going through the mid. We do see the scouting probe, however. In the mid lane as well, the jungle, as it's not going to find anyone, but Zuna looks for the shot on top of Pythix, doesn't quite grab it, but still, Pythix up against that comp, not going to be quite useful, but you see the rest of the team, they're going to be actually coming through. They took out the watchtower, and now they're putting pressure top. That's got C9 a bit spooked.
I love this placement of the scouting drone. They had complete vision of that.
And spooked indeed. They going right here into Team Liquid. That pull from Biceps, so good. Bobby Hank Hill is going to be drinking his way down to death. Zuna had to get out of dodge out of that one, and a really nice ambush going the way of Team Liquid. They put the first kill on the board, and they're up in experience already. Back to lanes to soak. But what did you think of that?
And this is what I was talking about with the early game pressure. Kerrigan is going to be like such a brutal champion in this first team fight that's going to happen. Like we saw it there with Chen jumping in, he couldn't get out because he had no way to jump away. Kerrigan was just going to keep raking him in.
And he's actually looking for another one here on top of Zuna. He's already used that Burrow Strike. Does throw down the Impaling. And it does look like Team Liquid not super confident on that one. The rest of the team here from Cloud9 do respond in good fashion. So nobody's really having the chance to kind of get insta-gibbed. But of course, we're also not level 4. And we do have the double Envenom. The setup is so good here from Dunk Train and Kerrigan on. So we're going to have to wait and see. No Mercs were taken this early. That's a first in a while.
And now we're looking at them all going to mines, and it looks like they might be looking to get a gank in here, actually. Looks like Malfurion might actually root and just set up the gank pretty well.
Yeah, and both teams did go down as 5, one on the top, one on the bot. But Dunk Train, he's going to be trying to do something here. Zuna's in the front line. King Caffeine actually takes a heck of a lot of damage. Biceps in the back. He's actually going to get focused down. Kerrigan's now down and out of it. Jintai was focused down, did have to throw down the Void Shift, and he's going to be down to the count as well. King Caffeine is still going, but Falstead has dropped. I Dream is about to drop as well as King Caffeine has to get out of dodge. Zuna is going to come right back in with the Burrowing Strike, however. Bishu's looking to land the damage. You got the Uther Ghost in there. War Master Chen, Bobby Hanko, he's going to be looking for the kill on top of Dunk Train. But it looks like the rest of his team decided, no, it's not worth it. Now they actually might be able to turn it right back around on top of Bobby Hanko. He's going to be trying to drink his way to freedom. Looks like both tanks going to be real low, but a Nubarak is going to drop, and King Caffeine does clean up the Panda. Bishu's not looking so healthy now either. Biceps is resurrected. He's back in town, but it does not look like they will chase. In fact, they're going to go back for the skulls.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there with that Kerrigan grip. I mean, they were able to instantly erase one of the other team.
They were, but at the same time, Kerrigan dropped real early that match. Like, she was almost a non-factor all the way up until that respawn.
Yeah, very, very true. She's super squishy early on, so you gotta be really careful what you're doing with her. Like right now, not the greatest positioning, especially having Kerrigan close to their front line.
As she is right here. You can see Zuna trying to take advantage of that. King Caffeine has actually stuck around a long time. Now it looks like angel hunting season is open. He is totally dead in this corner as the rest of C9 did gang up on him. Now, we do have 48 skulls under the visor here for Team Liquid. Looks like they're going to give up the rest, so they won't have the bigger golem by 4 skulls. And C9 is going to take advantage of that.
Definitely, and like I said, this game is going to be determined by like how the first mines is going to go, and it looks like it was fairly even. I mean, there's not much else you can say about it. I mean, both teams, 3 and 5 kills, even in experience. Golems are pretty much even, so we'll have to see what happens on this next mines fight and see if they can actually get a fort out of this.
Well, on the flip side, I mean, it might be a slightly bigger golem for Cloud9, but the mercs on this top level are really going to go heavily for Team Liquid. They already got the Knights. You can see Cloud9, they have to respond to that. So Team Liquid, they know where Cloud9 is right now. They more or less can say they're at the Watchtower, they're fighting the Knights. They're probably going to be taking these mercs as they are now. But it's still 2 camps to 1, and, you know, slight advantages are sometimes what you just got to take out of a bad fight.
And you can see him actually dunk train waiting, or King Caffeine actually, waiting to cap those mercs. Now it looks like he's moving across towards the other team.
They're not in any rush. That is for sure. Because you want to nurture your Giants. You want to make sure they actually get to where they want to be going. They don't want to get intercepted. They don't want to die out early. And it looks like they're going to actually use them in a defensive purpose here, because they're going to be chucking boulders over this wall for a while yet.
Timed it perfectly to where it didn't go past the gate, so they can just sit there and throw rocks at that golem, which is their own defense.
Both teams, no defense on either side. It's almost like a base race this early in. So we got the stones thrown out, but eventually they do drop. Not really a huge impact, but could it be enough to get Team Liquid a little bit here in the lead? Because I think they're going to take down this fort first.
They definitely will, and I think that's partially due to the fact that the top golem was hitting the well first before anything else, giving them a little spacer where they could actually take that fort.
Cloud9's happy with their progress. They're actually going to be retreating now, and you can see that Team Liquid has been paving the way for their golem. Same time, I'm not entirely too sure this guy will get to the gate, but he is fairly beefy. I think he actually might. So in terms of everything, it looks like, you know, basic even trades across the board.
Definitely, and this is what I was talking about too. Like with the Cloud9's team, they have a very, very, very good late game composition with Anubarak and Chen. With the disruption, making it so that Chen basically has 2 lives, later on 3, and Team Liquid isn't going to be able to put up much of a fight against it, I don't think.
Right now, Team Liquid is actually behind in experience. You can see him just about to hit 9, which means at this current pace, it will be Cloud9 that hits 10 first, and that could be a disastrous timing depending on what Team Liquid is doing. I don't think they're going to get caught for it, though. I think they're too smart for that. But they have to try to get, you know, at least at the experience, if not try to beat them to the punch, because all we have left to do right now is just duke it out.
For sure. I'm just waiting to see what this Anubarak decides to do with his stun.
There's nobody splitting. You see Pythix finally. He's going to be heading up top. They're going to be trying to race to 10. And we didn't actually fly, so Pythix still has the fly in case a fight does break out, and he can come on back in a hurry. Can't say the same here for Jinte, although he's finally now going to be in the top. They're going to be splitting as well. Both teams are so hesitant to engage.
This close to 10, you do not want to be the first to engage. It can spell disaster for your team.
And I think Liquid, because they split earlier, I don't know, it's so close. No, it is going to be 10 for Cloud9 first. And, oh, that could actually be very disastrous for Team Liquid. That small space, with they're not 10, it looks like they might actually still try to go on top of the dunk train. Saw Zuna go in with the Burrowing Strike. The Empowering goes off as well. Stun on top of King Caffeine. A little bit of a split fight going back and forth. They now have ults on both sides. Jintai really low. You see the strafe in the back there from Bishu. Dunk train in the front there, taking a lot of this damage. The Shockanaut goes off. The Tyrael does blow up that Tassadar, but Dunk Train, skin of his teeth. Biceps not looking so healthy as here. You see the Storm, Earth, and Fire from the Chen trying to do the work, and it's not enough. Instead, it's going to be Uther that drops. Bishu looking for the kill here on top of Pythix. He needs a roll and the arrow, but it's not going to be enough. Dunk Train turns it around, freezes Bishu, and down goes the Demon Hunter. But Zuna is there. He's looking for a little bit of revenge, but I don't think they're going to have it. Everyone is still alive here from Team Liquid because, of course, Tyrael did resurrect. But overall, that was definitely a Team Liquid win.
Definitely, and you can see that like it was a 3-for-1 trade at that point, and now they have free reign of the mines. Like there's still 3 of them top and not able to go into the mines right now, so they're just going in and collecting as many skulls as they can.
And Caffeine just doing a little bit of a distraction job here at the mines. He's basically denying the entrance here to Cloud9. Are they going to get any skulls out of this? This could literally be a 100-0 golem.
It could.
iDream's actually going to get caught out now here as well. The collapse on top of him, the body blocks are real. Dream is going to be a dream and a ghost. But a few skulls are finally going to go the way here at Jinte as he did gain access to that bottom. But King Caffeine, he's going to get out of that skin of his teeth with the might of El Druin. And I think Team Liquid's done. There's like, we got 62 skulls. We're going to go right back here to the mid.
Definitely, and this is one thing about this map that's kind of crazy is that you get that slight advantage in that the mine sweep basically, and there's not much you can do. Like we saw iDream go in there and almost get killed, or did he get killed?
iDream totally dropped. Yeah, Uther
Okay.
died. He's actually coming back here up top to Zuna.
Okay, so we saw iDream get killed like instantly when he went in the mines. Once you see a team go in the mines and almost get a full clear, you start to panic a little bit because you're like, okay, well, we need to get this golem a little bit bigger so we can guarantee that we're not going to just die right here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to keep the game going. In terms of experience, though, I mean, Team Liquid came at a whole level ahead. Again, they're going to be taking both creep camps. The Knights are still not cleaned up here from Uther and Zuna. And, you know, this is a big golem now at the gates.
Yeah, there's not much they can do about this. And you see that stun like I was talking about earlier. You can't get caught by that with a team around. Otherwise, you're just going to get completely wiped.
Here comes the rest of Liquid. They are going to be setting up. Dunk Train goes in. The gate is down. Throwing out that hammer there from Pythix. To catch someone. King Caffeine goes in. That's going to be the judgment on top of Bishu. Followed up by the Shock and Awe. You can see the Sindragosa going down as well. The strafe will go off here from Bishu. They do take out Tyrael. Dunk Train gets reversed upon. He's so low and he will drop. Bobby Hankill is just going to be so good in terms of the body block in there. Chef not looking so healthy. Biceps has to have those cooldowns refreshing right now. Pythix doesn't have the Shock and Awe. The good news from Team Liquid, though, is that this Golem is still pushing hard despite the fact that 2 team members are down.
Yeah, and right now they could actually back off and still get the fort. That golem is just going to destroy it no matter what.
Yeah, but Cloud9 wants to engage, man. Look at this. Biceps is probably not going to get out of this one. The root kick's coming in, and yeah, he realizes it. He tries to jump on Zuna. Double shields come out on top of him. Really good coordination.
And now we're looking at a Grave Golem at the core. Now, typically, unless the other team can do anything about it, you get like a 40 to 50 skull golem, it's almost game. It's game ending, especially at this level of play. You're just going to see Liquid grab at least 40, 50 skulls and just wait for the other team to grab the rest of the skulls so they can just push to win.
I kind of agree. I mean, at this point, a bigger golem could spell disaster for Zuna and crew. So what can they do? They can win a fight prior to the mines going up and get a bigger golem themselves.
That's exactly what they have to do. They have to make sure that the mercs are under their control, and they have to make sure that they're going in and getting as many skulls as they can and winning the team fight before the mines opens.
Well, the only camp left up is this these ogres right here. I mean, even the watchtowers have consistently been under Team Liquid's control. We got 2 minutes left here on the Knights. Still a little bit earlier there on the ogres, and I mean, distracting them here to go grab these golems. I mean, you can see Team Liquid, they're guarding this entrance, and they're saying, yeah, we're going to make sure we can get into those mines.
Definitely. And with the Chen play right now, we're actually seeing him go more of a damage build than actually like a crowd controlling CC build.
Yeah? So a bit more of a kick-oriented build?
Yeah, and instead of like grabbing the improved brew regeneration, he grabbed the increased range on an arc of Breath of Fire, which is kind of interesting.
Wants to make sure he gets every last breath count. Now we do got these golems in the bottom. You see Team Liquid, you know, they're posturing here. They got a very healthy gate and a very healthy fort for Cloud9 to kind of chew through, but they have lost the map positioning in terms of trying to get into those mines. They should be popping up. There we go. The timer is now up 30 seconds. This would be the point that Cloud9 needs to win a fight in order to prolong this game, I think.
Oh, for sure. And this is the game deciding fight right here. Before the mines open, this is what's going to pretty much tell us how the rest of this game is going to go. I mean, Bobby Hankill probably needs to save his ultimate until he's about to die to be able to do some real damage.
Well, there's not going to be quite a fight yet, and that's all right. The mines are up. Team Liquid's going down. Zuna does catch King Caffeine. If they can collapse on him, he is actually going to drop before any response here from Liquid. They go right back down. Divine Storm is in. Biceps not looking so cool. That's going to be the full duration of the stripe, and Cloud9 clean up 4 kills. 4-0. Pythix is not looking so healthy, and I don't think he's actually going to get out of this one either. That is exactly what Cloud9 needed to do.
That is exactly what they needed. I could not have said that any better. Like they just more than likely won this game because of that fight.
That catch on top of King Caffeine. Pythix got as many skulls as he could. It ended up at 8. Will drop eventually, but this is going to be a 92 skull golem going the way of Cloud9.
Yeah, we saw what a what was it, like an 80 skull golem did to the fort, and they didn't really have to engage on that.
I think that was actually 68.
Was it 68?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, even better. Like we're gonna see a 92 skull golem pushing at the fort of Liquid, and they're not gonna be able to stop it.
Could this be the death knell of Team Liquid? They're gonna go right back here to their bread and butter. They're gonna get the ogres. They might actually go for the knights, but that's gonna be cutting it real close.
Honestly, like the only thing that could probably turn the game around is if they burn that golem as fast as they can. Now, they just have to kill it before it destroys that fort.
Cloud9's posturing for defense.
They want to make sure that they don't do a yellow push. Just do a game-ending yellow push. Instead of pushing with their golem, they're going to make sure that they can actually win this game.
You can see iDream down here actually kind of paving the way, making a little bit of a buffer room here as well. This golem, this 8-skull golem, had no chance whatsoever. Bobby Hankill and crew going to be getting it low. Now they are on their way. They are going to be looking for this game-ending push because this 92 skull golem is just under 3/4 hit points. But maybe not. Maybe not.
It kind of seems like they're going for the slow, like just going to choke you out kind of kill.
Not what I would have expected from a 92 skull golem push. Instead, they take control of the knights. They do have another siege ogres up, siege giants, but they don't go for the win.
They might be just going for bottom, pushing another fort down.
And I think you're right. Yeah, they are going to go for a bit more of a slow push, a little bit more of a prolonged game. So they do have the 2-level advantage. Team Liquid had a good level way before that fight. Now it's Cloud9 up 2 levels on top of their opponents. They could easily just prolong this game to 20 at this rate and just kind of try to mop up them.
They could, but right now, like they're fighting pretty close to this fort, but now they're backing off, so it's not going to happen. But there is a 2-level disparity, but they both have level 16 talents, so it just depends on how fast they can hit level 20 as opposed to Liquid.
Well, Liquid do take their watchtower back. The rest of the Cloud9 team is here. They're basically doing exactly what Team Liquid did to them earlier. They're maintaining this map control. They're keeping the watchtowers under their thumb. They're biding their time on these ogres. And are they going to take these ogres sooner rather than later? Are they going to use it as a late tool push? No, it looks like they're going to take them now.
It might have been a good idea to wait until mines open. That way they have pressure bottom lane and they don't have to worry so much about it being killed instantly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But, maybe they do have their own internal timers. Maybe the travel time to this bottom lane is going to be enough to kind of trigger that. But, we do have these catapults. They've been pushing in this bottom lane for a while here from Team Liquid. So it has required a little bit of attention from Cloud9 just to keep it pushed.
This is true, and you also have now the 2 catapults pushing the top lane, doing some work on those minions too.
There's also still a fort down here, remember?
The 2 forts, yeah. They're probably going to try to take that before mines spawn.
Well, the fort would put him into 19. Bobby Hankill, though, he jumps in, immediately storm bursts and fire. The Syndragosa is going to come out right through the Cloud9 line, but that judgment poorly timed. The Shakanad does not hit as many as they want, but it doesn't matter. Tyrael and King Caffeine are going to drop. Dunk Train now looking to get out of dodge, but all of Cloud9 are still up. They're all still reasonably healthy. iDream comes in with that stun and the sprint. He's able to get home that kill. Pythix with the barrel roll, staying alive for now. Zuna looking for the kill here on top of Chef. Might be able to get it with the help of Uther, but skin of his teeth, he is going to survive. And even with a fort fighting with Team Liquid, Cloud9 takes the kills, they're 19, and the mines are up.
And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier with the whole, they're going to have a very, very strong late game comp. And this is exactly what happened. They just could not put out the damage to kill Chen. Chen split, went in, all of his split died. He just popped up straight to full health and had enough to share to basically heal his team while they were fighting.
Now, a really, really big golem right here is basically the end of the game. I cannot see a defense with a team pushing against a 100 skull golem. I can't see them coming out of this one.
There really isn't a way to come out of it. Once that 100 skull golem pops, it's just gonna they could leave it and it would probably end the game by itself.
Well, I like the idea here from Team Liquid. They said we got to fight them here after this golem. We got to get a few under our belt. We also got to get the kills here so that they can't push with it. But they're too little, too late. They're streaming in like lemmings as well, ones and ones and ones. Whereas Cloud9 all together, they get it, they get out. I think that might actually seal the deal here for Liquid. They have to have a miracle defense in order to come out of this one.
Definitely. I mean, there's really the only way they can win is if
they push. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't defend, that would be the only way that they could win this game. But I don't see them being able to pull this out.
Yeah, they're going for it. They're jumping in. Everything is going down on top of this core, but the whole team here at Cloud9 is ready to do it. Pythix trying his best. They've gotten through the shield. King Caffeine trying to do the posturing. Dunk Train really healthy here as well. Chef doing some decent damage. They are bringing this down, but they're racing that 100 skull golem and they're dropping like flies. And that is probably going to be game, ladies and gentlemen, because there's nothing to stop this one from taking the win. And it looks like Cloud9 is going to take game number 1 here of our best of 3 here as the Heroes Premier League.
I'm in shock.
We haven't really had a lot of proof as to what Cloud9's capability are. I mean, we all know Chef, we all know Dunk Train, you know, these are names that we've seen before, but Cloud9 came out swinging that match. Really well played from them.
Definitely. That was a huge surprise, huge turnaround in that fight right before they went into mines for the second time.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that quick win at 16, but they did bring it back at 19 in order for the win. As again, just game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Cloud9 comes out swinging. They get the win. We're going to set up lobby for game number 2 here in HPL. For all of you joining us here, thank you so much for your support. If you like what you hear, like what you see, Heroes Premier League, we're not going anywhere. Hit those buttons. Those subscribes, the likes, because we also have a giveaway going on. Again, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. You can hit those buttons. We're giving away the Blizzard capsule figures. 1 from every social media. So 4 people going home with swag today. And all courtesy of HPL. When we come back, game number 2, 4-Court Jester and D-Day here on HPL. Don't go anywhere.
Heroes Premier League, 20 of the greatest teams from across the globe. We didn't wait for Blizzard to give us the tools. We didn't wait for a scene to be fed to us on a silver spoon. People looked at this and said it was not possible. They tried telling us teams would never play for glory alone. Vince Lombardi once said that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment of all that he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the HPO Week 4 Day 1 after show with our show match. We are, of course, here with Cloud9 and Team Liquid, as they've been battling here in our best of 3. Currently, Cloud9 up 1-0 with that win in the Haunted Mines over top of Team Liquid. Mr. D-Day, your thoughts on the game? Because I know that a lot of people had opinions going into that one.
You know, I personally went into that thinking Team Liquid had the advantage. After seeing the draft, I still thought the same thing, but I knew that if they pushed it in the late game, Cloud9 was going to just take it. Still kind of baffled. Both teams threw some really, really bad situations. Like, they should not have engaged at certain times. Like the second time they went in the mines, Tyrael out of place, got caught, instantly died.
He did. Yeah, and that kind of led into the entire downward fall there of Team Liquid. Now, I really do think Cloud9 could have ended the game a bit earlier than that, but they took the slow and steady route. You know what they say, slow and steady wins the race. And they definitely came out flying on that one. So game number 1, Haunted Mines. We'll put it up on YouTube there on Nexus Champ, guys. We also have your winners coming up soon for the giveaway. 4 lucky winners are going to be going home with those figurines, the Blizzard capsule figurines. So game number 2, we have the lobby ready to go, and it's going to be Dragonshire. So what do you think we're going to be seeing? You know, I know we've seen a Dragonshire already today, and we've actually been seeing quite a bit of the other maps, but we did get to see Haunted Mines eventually. We did, of course, the Blackheart's Bay, but Dragonshire with these guys, what's your experience?
Well, Liquid, I'm not sure what to expect. I've only seen them play on Cursed Hollow and Mines, so it's kind of hard for me to judge how they play on this map in particular. I expect them to at least play defensively because now they know what Cloud9 has in their arsenal. They have a pretty good understanding of how the game works now, so we could see another Anubarak, Chen, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but it's going to be interesting now that we know that Cloud9 could go toe-to-toe with Team Liquid.
Well, we're going to have to see what Team Liquid can bring to this table then. So, again, Dragonshire, game number 2, guys. We got the draft up on the board, and already Team Liquid said, we're not dealing with Tyrael on this map. No, sir. Now, the flip side, of course, Cloud9 saying, we don't want to deal with Uther. What do you think of those?
Tyrael's a solid ban. He's always a solid ban, especially if they're trying to go Nova, which they just might do. They do have first pick, so they could go Tassadar, make sure that they don't have to worry about that vision. We'll see what they pick here in just a second, but I have a feeling that we're going to see a Tassadar Nova build, probably.
Yeah, for the Dragon?
Definitely.
That's intriguing.
Tassadar first pick.
Well, all right. We're going to have to see how far these predictions are going to go, D-Day. But Tassadar first pick. That could actually lead into some trouble picking up for a Nova. Oh, but they don't care.
Oh.
They're going to take it immediately. Tychus, not banned, not picked here by Team Liquid. Cloud9's a done. Tychus, Nova, going to go the way. That's quite the powerhouse punch right there.
Definitely. They just stole Nova because they probably knew that Dunk Train was good at Nova. They decided to pick her up because they saw that Tassadar pick. didn't want to have to worry about it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so on the Dragonshire, I mean, it's a really great roaming map for Nova. Yeah, you got to play a little bit around those oracles, but, you know, the new Nova packs quite the hit. I mean, especially after you get that rewind going. You snipe, pin, auto attack, rewind, snipe. That is going to kill out quite a few of the squishies out there. So I'd be surprised. I mean, this is typically a map that we're going to see a Falstad on. The flight is so good for Dragonshire. But now they got a Nova on that. Do you think they can deal with that threat?
Possibly. It really depends on how this the rest of this draft goes. I mean, Tatstar has like a oh crap button to get out of there if Noah just decides to unleash on him. So I mean, we could see. Oh, we just saw an Arthas pick. That's a super solid pick, especially on Dragonshire. It's enclosed areas like most of the maps. Easy with that CC to hit just about everyone.
Yep. No, definitely good. We saw Syndragosa last round as well. We didn't have the ghouls for Dunk Train that round.
I guarantee that the reason they went with Syndragosa was for that big golem push. When you have that breath go down there, you can engage on a team and not have to worry about any shots hitting your teammates.
Now, at the same time, because we have so much CC available to Arthas, I mean, we got all the slows, we have his freeze, and then Syndragosa. Could that actually lead the damage dealers leading into Executioner?
I could see that. The problem with that is that if they aren't slowed, Executioner is just a dead skill. Right. There are usually much better choices in that slot.
Well, you could also get the slow on your Storms there for the Tassadar, and depending on who else gets it. I mean, I definitely know that Vala, the pickup here for the DPS for Team Liquid, she definitely has access to that. So I'm just thinking a little bit of back of my mind. You know, you get someone singled out, you just bore right on top of them, 10, 20% more damage. It goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually having a hard time figuring out that number offhand.
I believe it is 40. I think it's 40.
We'll go with 40 then. Yeah. I'll trust you, sir. Sir Pro.
I like the Vala pick, though. They need to get some damage. They have Tassadar, but Vala is a very strong pick. I could see a Falstad pick. Someone could go Falstad.
Mm-hmm. Again, the flight really good. The shock and awe. There's a lot of narrower spaces, especially in that bottom jungle area, because we do got the 6 ogres, taking up their residency there.
Very true. And for Cloud9, I could actually see them picking Rhaegar here. Do like a Rhaegar Falstad. If they want to go a pure damage build.
Yeah, that would have to be. That's a triple assassin build. I mean, you'd have. Wow, they're gonna do it, you monster. But then you did a front line like we have here with the Chen. I can't imagine they're gonna go for a triple assassin on that last. But as you said, it'd be Bloodlust, triple assassin, and then the Storm, Earth, and Fire. It might just be too much to deal with.
They did leave a Noob rack open, so we could see Team Liquid snipe that in Noob.
It could use another front line. I mean, you got that Arthas there. We don't have any heals right now for Liquid. And Rhaegar's out. We already got the Tassadar down, but those are still only the shields. There's no shielding capacity here for Liquid past, really, the Tassadar. So we could actually... Who would be next in line? Malfurion?
Mal for Brightwing. Brightwing for the bribe.
Wing this week.
I think we saw one a little bit earlier. Didn't work out so well, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Roxy. Yeah, the disconnect.
Yeah.
Rip. It did not work out whatsoever, yeah, with that Emerald Wind. So, I don't know. I just, I'm not really feeling a Brightwing for Team Liquid. I'm feeling more of a Malf or even a Tyrande at this point.
I could actually see that. A lot of people don't know this, but the second,
well, there you go. Throw that all at the window.
Okay.
The CC will be good for the Odin. You can CC Tychus, and hopefully then you can just combo him down, delay out that Odin. You can also polymorph Chen out of his drink.
Yes.
I think those are the only tools that we have though to deal with that. Like we don't have really any kind of hard stuns here.
I could see them picking a Nubarak or Diablo right here. Those are really the two choices that they'll need. Because Arthas isn't going to be able to handle this by himself.
Talk of puck there in the stream. Yeah, that is a Brightwing. He is a fairy dragon. We'll leave it at that. You were talking a little bit about Diablo as well earlier in a few of our matches. A really nice frontliner as well, and good scalability in the Apocalypse. Or would you go more Lightning Breath on this?
I would go. since the changes on Lightning Breath, it's a lot better than it was. Oh, we see Falstad.
Yeah, all right. So they're going to put all their faith there in the Tassadar and the Arthas. Very interesting. Could that also just be a pickup to deny it from Cloud9? You did mention a triple assassin with the Rhaegar. Could literally just be a deny pick.
It really could. They might just be really worried about the damage that they can output, so they just took it from them. The Brightwing might be going Gust to lock the other team down and just get rid of at least one person so they can win that team fight.
Now, on the flip side, in terms of stuns, again, very light here for Cloud9. All we have really is Root Kick or the Root Totem, and those don't really come into effect until later on in the game. Stitches, however, is going to be the tool here for the picks. And I kind of like that because, again, you put him on the front line, and that hook, he has a lot of squishy targets to look at.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Falstad and Vala have pretty solid escapes, especially Falstad. You would know. Same with Tassadar. They all have really valid escapes. The problem is that if Stitches and Chen are together and they're it's post 7, it's going to be really difficult for Liquid to get away.
Extremely difficult, yeah. All right, so those are your picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. Put down your bets right now. Cloud9 up 1-0 over Team Liquid here in this exhibition match for the Heroes Premier League. Dragonshire is going to be our battlefield here. A really interesting comp from both sides. I really didn't expect that Brightwing, but at the same time, Falstad coming out to join the Vala. Very light on stuns, but we do have a lot of slows and availability there. So I'm really kind of torn. I really don't know who will bring this one home.
It's looking pretty equal. I can't, just by looking at this draft, each team is super scary. Honestly, Cloud9 might be able to push us in the late game and win because of it. They're very light on heals because all they have is Rhaegar. So they're either going to have to go full bore and get Bloodlust, or they're going to have to get Ancestral Healing, which might backfire. All
right, so we are 10 out of 10 ready to go here in our second match, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get this rolling, so hopefully you put down your bets. I see a lot of people there in the chat. Of course, Cloud9 Jack, big shout out to him, putting together this Cloud9 team. Of course, OxyGG out there, the coach/manager, I think, of Team Liquid. So, a lot of mixed opinions coming out about these teams. But right now, the solid facts is that Cloud9 is up 1-0, and this is do or die for Team Liquid.
And I'm really excited to see this. Looks like we're getting going.
Indeed we are. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 coming your way as we're about to jump on in. Now, not entirely too sure which side is going to be which. But again, HPL putting together these tools, these exhibition matches. If you like what you see, like what you hear, hit those buttons, follow, subscribe. The more we put into this, the more we're going to get out of it long term. Plus, you get some pretty nifty things like prizes, the subscription emoticons. They're all fun stuff. Looks like Team Liquid's going to be here on the left.
You got Dunk Train as Tassadar. Going to have King Caffeine as Arthas. Sheth on Brightwing. And we got Biceps on Falstad.
Woo. Again, that's a master skin, Falstad. My heart goes out to him. Definitely a man after my own taste. On the flip side, Cloud9 up 1-0, looking to seal the deal. Bishu on Nova. iDream on the Rhaegar. Zuna playing that beefy Chen. Got ourselves a Stitches down here by Bobby Hank Hill and Jinte on Tychus. They're off to the races. Now again, Dragonshire, a lot of emphasis on these bottom lanes. You're probably going to see the 1-1-3 split coming out here.
Most likely. Now, if you notice, Brightwing and Falstad both have Bribe, which is key on this map, especially with the early golems. Or early giants, I should say. Getting those early mercs can put a lot of pressure on the other team to just get rid of them, especially the very bottom giants camp. If you can bribe that, cause a distraction, pull someone from another lane, you can get a lot more objectives that way.
Now, only Chef is showing down here in the bottom lane, but wow, Tychus Nova combo brings him down. Bishu is going to get reversed upon, but here comes Bobby Hankill in the back. Chef and Bishu got to be very careful. It's not going to be a landed hook right there, but already blood's being drawn in all the lanes. Dunk Train going head-to-head here with Zuna. Shields versus Shields. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more towards Zuna here in that matchup.
Definitely. Chen is such a bully. He can pretty much bully anyone out of lane, even Ethereal, which is the hardest thing to do.
That is the hardest thing to do. I mean, there's very few things that can really take on a Tyrael, but Jinte, he's going to try to take on Chef down here. This three-man comp still going back and forth. We're really looking for the kill on top of Chef. Don't quite get it. King Caffeine, that's going to get knocked back by the grenade. Dunk Train and Zuna both come down, and it's going to be a four-man brawl. No hooks and no freezes quite yet, but another snipe brings Dunk Train low. I'd still give the advantage right now to Cloud9 this early transactions.
Definitely, they have a lot more early damage output. You gotta get get some talents with Fallout to be able to really do some damage with her. But she can still be a threat early on. Don't count her out yet.
Now it's curious that Biceps is actually in control of the top shrine. In fact, both shrines are not going to go the way of Team Liquid. They do have an opportunity here for a Dragon Knight.
Looks like Stitches is just going to bully him out of lane. You got Stitches and Chen both mid. There's not much the other team can do about it unless they actually rotate everyone mid. They're just so big. Tons of health in their pool, so
yeah, and it's not exactly going to be the DK quite yet. Bottom lane 2v1, Valley could not deal. The shrine does go back towards Cloud9. Chef's going to try to contest it a little. Bishu and Jinte not looking so healthy here, but here comes the Arthas. He's going to lock it down. Top lane though, that's looking like a first blood coming out.
Oh, he might get away. Oh, and he got away.
Right to the fountain as well, and there's nobody mid to stop Dunk Train. Yes, there is. Never mind.
Cut off.
Yeah, that's not Bishu, guys, but good try. Hollow drone or hollow decoy got extremely useful this last patch.
For sure, it is so confusing when you get that triple decoy talent. Like they just pop up everywhere.
You don't know who it is. Nova's definitely a powerhouse this patch. Biceps come back to the top. He did not drop that first blood. Really nice reactions coming out of him. Sliver of health was the deciding factor, but he did lose out this shrine. So it is one shrine apiece. Both teams are not that interested in Mercs, it seems. They're very much interested in this Dragon Knight.
I'm pretty certain that Brightwing and Falset are just waiting for their stacks to take it at the right time.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, we do have the double bribe here. Look at that.
Yeah, with double bribe, you can take 2 giant camps in a split second. Doesn't take much time to grab it. So if they were able to wait for that Dragon Knight, take 2 giants, and then immediately grab that Dragon Knight, there's not much the other team can do about it. They're going to lose a fort at some point during that engagement.
We don't have anybody that can even take bribe here from Cloud9 either. Yeah, no, I think you're going to hit that right on the money, sir. Dunk Train's going to be chasing out Bishu. Yeah, they did put up that force. They are going to take these giants. That's going to be at least drawing the attention of Cloud9 a little bit. We don't have anyone else for the others. Because Falset's top, that's why.
Yeah, and you could see them probably rotating to get... They're rotating to get the bottom giants right now. So they might be moving Falset down soon to grab the bottom left Merc camp. Knights are still up, which sometimes it's a little early to take them, but early Knights can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, 4 minutes in. We are creeping, of course, towards level 10, and it is ever so slightly the experience lead going the way of Team Liquid. Very even on both sides, but you know, Team Liquid and crew, they have done a really good job of soaking. They do have 2 of these 6 ogres 4 of these 6 ogres under their control, and it is forcing people into the spot lane. Thankfully, Tio already does own this shrine, although that seems to be something of contest right now.
Looks like they actually lose it right this second, and Chen is in perfect position to grab that Dragon Knight.
Here comes Dunk Train, though. He's not going to be there in time. Oh, a little bit of a misplay right there, and Zuna don't care. He's just going to go right here into these turrets, and you can see the rest of the Team Liquid here. They're going up for the defense, and Zuna knows better than to waste it at this point. He's just going to bide his time. He has 45 seconds on this to do as much damage as possible. The rest of his team does come in, though.
One thing that most teams usually do is they rotate lanes. It's not a good idea to just stick to mid and waste a dragon. I mean, you're not really wasting it, but you could do more by forcing them out of lane, letting your team push mid, going down with Dragon Knight, and destroying a wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've seen that time and again here in the HPL. I think Zuna and crew, yeah, they're just kind of bide their time. They still got 15 seconds on it. He keeps throwing out that fire, keeping them on their toes. Now, at the same time, Stitches didn't come. He's soaking bottom. And Rhaegar up top, same thing. They're now level 10. If Zuna splits right here, this could be like ultimates right in the faces of Team Liquid.
It could be disastrous.
And you see Zuna, he jumps right on into Bicep. That's going to be the strike, and that's going to be the first blood. Falstead does drop. The body blocks are real. The hook is good, too. And King Caffeine is on par to actually drop. Nice shield coming out from Liquid Chef, but Zuna is in hot pursuit. That's going to be the fountain as well. I don't think Zuna can actually kill King Caffeine at this point. Jinte is going to come in and try to help, though. They're really pushing for it. Now this might be a little bit of an overextension here from Zuna.
For sure. He definitely dove a little too hard there. He had his ultimate up. He should have just dove over that wall and got out of there.
Oh, wow.
Arthas is just...
Dunk Train, he comes in right behind. He throws down everything, including the Archon, pays for it, but he sets up the kill on top of the Nova. The shock and all was good for Bobby Hankill as well, and Jinte is going to drop included. Wow, 4 kills for only the Tassadar right there, and all of a sudden, back in the experience lead for Team Liquid.
That was kind of amazing. You got... Dunk Train does some amazing things, and that was probably... hands down the best thing for him to do in that instant. Cutting him off, making it so that they attacked him, let the rest of the team catch up, engage, and equalize the battlefield again. And now they're almost a complete level ahead.
Almost, yeah. They're about to hit 12, so just a little bit under. Way to take control of the game, Dunk. I mean, it was a little bit of a sacrifice, but he set up the kills, and they got what they needed done. Shrines are going to be coming up in 30. And again, Team Liquid taking the lead here in this mid-game.
Definitely, and now they're going to rotate down and get those other knights on their side of the map.
Rhaegar is actually going to be setting up top. They might actually try to go for a quick shrine, and they have to suspect at this point that it's going to be Mercs here for Team Liquid because there's nobody on the map at all. Unfortunately, the shrines, a few seconds sooner could have actually been a nice quick snipe, but it's just going to be iDream taking top and Stitches for bottom. Can they actually grab this Drake Knight as quick as they can?
They are going to.
Oh, wow. There's nobody here to contest. Wow. All right. Cloud9, they're looking to bring this back. They're going all serious mode right here. Jinte is going to lead the charge right up to this fort. And Team Liquid, they're all bottom. They're all clamoring back here to mid.
That is not a good thing for Team Liquid here. I mean, their fort is definitely going to go down. Well,
yeah, but you say that. But that was a really good bait there by Vala. She faulted out, and Jinte had to follow once he committed to that. Got him really far forward. That's going to be actually some big damage on top of Jinte now as well. He does have the Odin. It will get popped. We don't have the Syndra Ghost this time, though. King Caffeine going with the goals. Still no kills. Low hit points across the board, though. Chef looking a little bit worse for wear, but he does have that shield. Biceps is looking a little bit worse as well, but it's all about the Tychus who got out of dodge. It's, they didn't get the fort because of that one charge baited out by Vala. Really well played there by Team Liquid.
Definitely, and like the one thing that you got to really be careful with in this map in particular is overextending with the Dragon Knight. If you're not with your team, that Dragon Knight is going to get shredded, just like we just saw.
No, it was a really good job there from TL. 13-13, so Cloud9 has kind of caught up a bit. They're jumping on top of Pythix, but they're not going to be able to quite take the kill. Zuna's still there. Pythix doesn't see him. Is going to drop to the Monk, but now Zuna's kind of doing a 1v4 kind of thing here, and I don't think he's going to get out of that one.
No, definitely not. His ult was down. The one thing about Shen post 10 is you really want to be careful with your engagements. You don't want to go in unless you have your ultimate up. It can really backfire if you don't.
It really can. But, Pythix did drop. I don't think he actually necessarily needed to drop, but it was still a favorable exchange for Team Liquid. They got the 2-1, they got the Golems, the Giants, and the Giants are doing work in this bottom lane. They're keeping Cloud9 here, and there's the Shrines notice. 30 seconds. Everyone should be up and ready to go, but it's still Team Liquid holding the slight experience lead here.
Which I'm extremely, extremely surprised about. They've been playing really well, but it just seems like Cloud9 has been choking, especially with the Dragon Knight. There are a couple of things that they misplayed early on with the Dragon Knight just sitting around there doing nothing. He was sitting in lane killing minions. He should have rotated to another lane, like I said, and done a little bit more to distract the team.
Well, iDream's doing a good job distracting all of Team Liquid up here. That's going to be the Shrine going their way. Bishu's now here. You see the Clairvoyance going down. Does reveal pretty much all 5 members now of Team Liquid. Do we have a Merc push up here? They're just going hard for the gate because they're going hard for the gate.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try to push that gate down so they can have a little bit more the ability to rotate a little bit more quickly.
Well, they got the gate. They didn't quite get the tower, but it is out of ammo. Creep should be able to do a good number on it. Dunk Train does keep the shrine. Bottom was taken by Tychus during all that, so it was a 5-on-4. Team Liquid chose, of course, not to do anything about that, but here comes Cloud9 looking for this kill on this fort. That's the upgraded grenade. It's melting down that fort right there.
And it looks like they will get a fort here. I mean, there's not much that Liquid can do about it unless they just push them straight out of the fort like they just did.
Right, they might commit all on top of here on Zuna. He's actually going to pop out that Earth Storm and Fire. Biceps with the laser. Is that going to be a kill? It's not quite the landing there from the Precision Strike, but Zuna is actually going to be the one that drops first. All that energy and all that for Biceps, and Cloud9 do not get anything for it.
Team Liquid is doing exactly what they need to be doing against them right now. They popped Bloodlust, they knew they needed to spread out, make sure that their damage wasn't focused on one person, and that's exactly what they did. They tried to burst down Falstad, and it didn't work, and they lost Zuna because of it.
Yeah, now who's going to actually take the Dragonite here? It looks like Pythix is actually stepping up to the plate. And yeah, body block in there. Bishi's not going to be able to do anything with that hollow decoy, and now the first Dragonite going the way of Team Liquid. See how far they can push with it.
For sure. And you got to keep in mind that the Dragonite gets stronger over time, so right now, this Dragonite is going to do much more work than the two that Cloud9 had just had.
Yeah, the scaling nature of this game is meant to try to bring an end to the game quicker rather than later. We don't run any kind of 40-minute grind fests, although yeah, every now and then they do happen. Average game length, I would say, in HPL is well under 20 minutes, though.
Oh, for sure. A lot of them actually, like I've noticed, have been like 15 or under.
Yeah.
You have Pythix up here going, just taking out the well, making sure that he's doing support, kicking Zuna out of the fight.
Yeah, he's going to kind of play a little bit of football there. You can see now why they took out that gate early. It's because he can get Pythix right into here, right into that fort. It's going to drop. Nobody here from Team Liquid is virtually even hurt, and we still have 15 seconds left on this night. They're going to rotate now to the mid. And, I mean, Cloud9, it's really hard for Cloud9 to engage on this.
Definitely. And you want to, like they were just doing, they were posturing the Dragonite so they could take the fort, back up, and not take any damage.
Yeah, but they got that hook, and immediately you saw Pythix get on out of that one. The lightning's going to go down the Precision Strike as well. It is Chen, however, who's dead in the water. King Caffeine doing a really good job here in the front line. Good hit there from the Arthas Freeze. It will keep Stitches under control, and he's going to be down now as well. Jinte trying to do his best there in the back with the Odin, but I don't think it's going to be enough for this fort. It does drop, and the tower at this point inconsequential, but Biceps takes it anyways. 2-level lead now for Team Liquid as we're going into the 13-minute mark.
Yeah, you can really see them. What they're going to probably do is rotate, because they have 2 people down on the other team. They're going to look at Mercs, take as many as they can, and try to get a 6 goal and push down on bottom most likely.
Well, they just used 2 of their bribes on that Knight stack. I mean, I was actually under the impression that they would kind of, fly and go get these, but they wanted those Knights as quick as they can.
Well, that's the great thing about it, is that you get those Knights, make it so that Cloud9 doesn't want to overextend and go into your Knight area and take yours. Take all the Giants, because they're dealing with the top Knights pushing, and then you have a 6 Giant push that they have to deal with. And then you can go rotate up, take your Knights, and make sure they have no Merc control. So
this will be 5 Merc camps going the way of Team Liquid unless Cloud9 can get a pick.
Yeah, and that's the best thing for them to do. I mean, just choke Cloud9 out of it. They can't really respond to them taking all the Merc camps. They can only kill them, make sure that they don't do any damage to their forts or their keeps, and just keep trying to win a team fight.
And what kind of timing is this? Shrine's up in 30 as well. So this top lane push have a little bit of leeway to kind of start doing its pressure, but the Shrines will be up by then. Now, what is Cloud9 doing? They're literally just trailing around at this point and just cleaning up all the Giants. So they are keeping busy, but it's not exactly, a game-winning thing to be doing. They're just kind of subsiding at this point.
Now, what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to either wait until they hit 20, or they're going to want to engage and make sure that they win that team fight.
Well, it is 19-17. Both parties do have access to all their talents at this point, except those storm tiered. And bottom Shrine could actually be the battlefield. They're going to come right here on top of Bobby Hank Hill. And yeah, that's going to be the freeze. It's going to be it for Stitches. He cannot deal with that kind of damage. The healing ward going down there from Rhaegar, it's not nearly going to be enough. And now Cloud9 have no choice but to fall back.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing they can do to defend against this. I mean, Falstad's going to fly top. They're going to rotate mid. Pythix is probably going to hop in that Dragon Knight like he did before because of Nova, and they're just going to push like without anything to be able to stop them.
And that's something we've been seeing a lot this patch. I mean, even the previous games, the maps that did have golems or dragons, we've been seeing more of the squishy supports going into it. This time, though, it's King Caffeine. So typically you will kind of put your tank in there because if they do get shredded, as we have seen a few times, at least you have a little bit of durability under your belt. Like, you're not just going to get immediately blown up like Pythix would. But ever since Nova kind of came out, we've been seeing some more squishies going there.
Yeah, you really got to be careful with Nova. She can take out your other assassins in a heartbeat. You really got to worry about that rewind at level 16, I believe.
Yep.
Make sure that you're not in the line of fire. I mean, going after like a Dunk Train and Tassadar right now, you're not going to be able to kill Tassadar with Nova. She's just going to E and walk away.
Nice try to hook there, Bobby Hankill, but unfortunately it's not going to be the catch of the day. 19 to 18, we're just biding our time for 20. If we can take a fort, and there is one in this bottom lane, that will trigger the 20, and the Storm talent tier will come in. Zuna's going to try to make a play here on top of Dunk. That's going to actually be the hook and the gorge. Bobby Hankill taking Tassadar to the other side of the world, but that's going to be the laser. The Zuna did not actually get a kill there in that back lane. You see the Archon now, because Dunk is not done. Zuna is actually now on the retreat. Jinte not looking so healthy either. That Odin is on its last legs, and no kills, but that's going to be 20, and that's going to be the sport.
Oh, definitely. And that was probably not the greatest idea to gorge a Tassadar because he'll pop out and just phase shift away.
Yeah, and the aftermath here is that Zuna has no more tricks up his sleeve. Jintai might actually be healthy, but King Caffeine has the sustain. They get the fort, they push it in. Level 20 to 18. We don't have the ults ready to go because we just blew them down for the next team fight. Oh, you can be sure that Team Liquid's going to be bringing the pain.
And you can actually see Bobby Hankill going a slam slow build, basically. He just wants to control a fight and make sure that someone that goes in can't get out. But it's not working so well.
Well, I mean, as you said, it's not the best to kind of hook the Dunk Train at this point because Tassadar does have that invulnerability. But at the same time, if you're going to hook somebody, you have to follow it up with the Gorge. I mean, you have really no other choice. You do have the chance at bringing down the task before you can hit any buttons. But with this team comp with so little hard CC, it's just not going to happen.
Well, actually, that's not quite true because Dunk Train did grab the automatic phase shift to get out.
Yeah, so it's not going to work regardless then.
Yeah, so he's going to get out of the fight regardless. You're not going to want to focus Tassadar. Like, you see him pop up. If he pops his Archon, you just want to back out, let him waste it. Don't engage, let his Archon run out, and then engage.
Well, there's the talents as we have a little bit of downtime. Hopefully you guys got your fill there. I'll put them up at the end of the game as well. Knights are up, and now Zuna looks like he actually might be going to the Wolves. We do stop that out. The Storm Earth and Fire does come out. Zuna, again, just kind of stuck behind here. That's going to be the shock and awe. Bobby Hankill in the front, not looking so good. He's going to drop in Precision Strike, just not doing the work it needs to do. Zuna drops. The Knights go the way of Team Liquid, 21 to 18. The power difference is too much. Bishu's going to drop here as well, getting caught out by King Caffeine. And I think that could be game right there, Mr. D-Day.
It definitely could. I mean, they're down. 3 of their team members are down for 30-plus seconds. They're not going to be able to recover from this.
Team Liquid bringing this back to tie up the series. Our first Game 3 is about to come to fruition. So we saw 2-0s today in the HPL, but this show match is really heating up. King Caffeine not even having the audacity to go down at the end, just sitting there tanking it all, fist pump in the air. Woo. And apparently I can't bring up talents at the end of the game. Lovely. I lied. I'm sorry.
That was an intense game, too.
Ooh, totally was, sir. Totally was. All right. Game 2. Team Liquid Hype brings it back. All those Team Liquid fanboys out in the chat, I got to be very happy about that one. Dunk Train making the plays. At the same time, we saw, again, Zuna. He overcommitted a few times. He got caught a few times behind enemy lines. He's a Chen, but he's not invincible. And Team Liquid teaching us the story there.
One thing that I think he's doing, Zuna was on Chen this time.
Yep.
One thing I think they tend to do is they tend to pop his split a little too early.
A little bit, yeah.
Because as Chen, you want to run in there, do as much CC and damage as you can do, and then split, come back, get out of there if you can, and then go heal, come back, and then fight again. You don't want to pop your split instantly, have your split be pretty much useless because you can't CC anyone. You can't block anyone. You just get killed instantly.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've seen a lot of Chen today. We've seen a lot of the new Barak. I'm a little surprised we didn't actually see, the Bug Lord here today. But we got a game 3, guys. We have a game 3. So don't go anywhere. HPL is going to be right back after this commercial break. We're going to get game 3 up. We're going to get hyped because I love game 3s. As a commentator, it's the best thing ever. Also, when we get back, I'm going to get those winners out of Pride. I swear, this time for sure. He owes us winners. People are getting capsules. So you have a lot of reason here to stick around. HPL, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. We are back here with the HPL. We're going to get into game number 3. I've been told we have one more giveaway shot for you guys. A lot of people here on the stream, maybe you don't know, we're having an Ultimate Dead Week giveaway because Dead Week was pretty dead. We decided to give away a whole lot of stuff, and we still have a whole lot of stuff left to give away. Today, 4 winners. They're going to go home with Blizzard capsule figurines, those little guys, those cute little chibis right there. 1 winner from Twitter, 1 from Facebook, 1 from Twitch, and 1 from YouTube. So make sure you've hit those likes and subscribe buttons because we're going to be drawing names as soon as this game is done. I have Pride's word on it, and 4 people are going to go home very happy because those little things, they're cute. They are definitely cute. Coming back into this, however, you're here with Forgo Jester and D-Day, part of Team Nexus Champ, because we are here on the Nexus Champ with the Heroes Premier League and the show match of Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Game number 3. It's getting so hot in here, I had to take off my hat, man. Like, it is really hot in here. I got 2 computers. It's a small room. I'm wearing a hat and like 3 layers of clothing. I don't know why. It's the dead of fall. But these games are getting going, man, and they're getting hot.
For sure, man. I was completely surprised at how, well, not completely surprised at how Team Liquid turned that around. The 2 early Dragon Knights by Cloud9 weren't the greatest. They kind of misstepped a little bit when he went straight into Vala after she vaulted in and got that bait. Like, they just destroyed that Dragon Knight right after that happened.
And that's why a lot of the time you won't see actually the kick go down. You won't see that football punch. You won't see the gnome punch because you can actually bait it out into situations like that. And, I mean, that could be an auto attack. You know, why waste your time on it? So, yeah, a little bit of learning right there, but I've been told the teams are ready to go, so we're jumping in. Game number 3 draft, Cloud9, Team Liquid. The map is Cursed Hollow.
Let's see what happens.
Now, Cursed Hollow we've seen before. I believe we actually had 2 maps today with with Cursed Hollow. Both games didn't even last 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Depending on the picks and bans, I could see Team Liquid really pushing it out to do what basically like SMG and 2ARC did earlier. I mean, you take that early advantage, make sure you keep it, rotate to Mercs, keep that curse under your control.
And we saw that pretty much like in consistency with our other 2 games. Tribute, Mercs. Tribute, Mercs. Tribute, Mercs, game. Like, we didn't even have a curse in the second one. 9-minute game, no curse. Like, they didn't even need it. They just pushed straight down.
No, sometimes you don't. The one thing you really need to focus on while in curse is making sure you're absorbing as much experience as possible. You want to make sure you have at least 1 person in lane at all times. If you have a slight advantage, you'll be good, but it's iffy.
It could be iffy. So we're going to have to see what they're going to be bringing to the table here. Our last game of the night, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 3, Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Let's get that drafting music going because the draft is up and ready to roll.
I'm expecting to see a Stitches ban.
Yeah? For which side?
Probably Cloud9, maybe?
Well, they get first pick. They get first ban and first pick.
This is true. So they could pick up Stitches. I didn't see many hooks landed though, but they banned Tychus, which is pretty typical.
He is basically the god tier assassin at this point. Everybody clamors for a Tychus. You don't second pick or third pick Tychus. It's always banner first row, pretty much.
I've seen it go to a third pick, which is the weirdest thing. And
What game was that?
Some weird game.
Get these guys into the meta, seriously. Tassadar is going to be the response here, though.
Tassadar, typical ban. Tychus Tassadar, you're not going to be confused when people ban that. And you see Cloud9 pick up Uther, which is no surprise.
Yeah, very strong healer. Has a lot of speed to hit points. Becomes a ghost as well. I always get a good kick of Uther Tyrael comps because it's Team Ghost. You can kill us, but we're still doing things. We're still doing damage. We're still healing. We're still doing stuff. I mean, it's not exactly something you should strive for, but I get a kick out of it.
You've either seen Cloud9 either pick or ban Uther each time, too. They had him in the new Brack Chen composition, and now they're picking him again.
Well, as I said, I mean, he's pretty much S tier, God tier, first pick material. I'm curious to see with the ban on Tassadar, if we're actually going to see Team Liquid actually pick up that Nova and put it on Dunk, or whoever, because we've seen some Novas now a few times, because there's no Oracle, right? That will also force the support on Cloud9 to go scouting drone.
For sure. I don't know if Uther can pick up scouting drone, but can he?
I could find out at this nifty little website called heroesfire.com. Shameless self-promotion. I think he actually does. I know Tychus does, but he's banned as well.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he does not. Look at that.
Looks like Team Liquid picks up Arthas. Again, solid pick. Not much to really say anything about him. He's solid front line, good CC, amazing ultimates depending on which one he chooses.
Well, we've actually now seen both. Team Liquid has taken Arthas twice, and we've seen both Syndragosa in their loss and Ghouls in their win. I mean, he is definitely something of a hero that you can use both ultimates on. And there is a little bit of a debate out there that some of these heroes, like, for example, Judgment versus Sanctification, almost 99.9% you're going to go Judgment, right? But we have now seen actually multiple ults from both, from some of these heroes on both teams.
For sure, and now you see a Falstad pick, which is a no-brainer on Curse. You want to have that mobility to be able to pretty much soak any lane at any point in time.
Any lane, any point of time. Yeah, I'm a big Falstad fan myself. If he gets caught, especially a high DPS, a high burst DPS like Nova, like Kerrigan, I mean, it's just going to be spelling bad days for you. But at this point, we don't really know what Cloud9 is going to go. I suspect they're going to pick up a Chen sometime in the last pick.
For sure. I could even see them picking up Tyrael. Tyrael Nova is super strong.
Yeah, you get the Judgment and the Precision Strike.
Precision Strike, her high burst, especially against Falstad. And we've been saying it all night that Falstad is not a friend of Noah's.
Not at all. No. He's a big target. He really is. I'm a little surprised we haven't actually seen any kind of Zeratul. I mean, Zeratul late game has definitely proven to be something of a game changer, but we haven't seen him all week in any of our games.
Tyrael Nova, or not Tyrael Nova, Tyrael follow-up.
You wish Tyrael. But picking up the Tyrael for the Judgment, great initiation. You have some really good AoE options there for the Vala as well. Right now, there's not really any kind of big hard CC to stop the Strife, but even if they do pick up more CC, you still got a Rain of Vengeance at your disposal, and we've been seeing that more and more as well.
Yeah, and like I said this earlier, Rain of Vengeance is a super, super strong ability, especially on Curse. With all those nooks and crannies, I mean, sometimes you get in the perfect position where no matter where they go, they're still going to get hit by it.
Right. Yeah. A lot of small, narrow places as well for the Shakazas and the Rain of Vengeances. Any kind of big linear spell. The Burrow Strike's been proving out really good. The Root Kicks as well for body blocking into those small spots. We saw that a little bit earlier in that 9-minute win. The Anubarak and the Chen combo turned into just an absolute destruction composition for their team because they were able to do so much in those small spaces. On the flip side, let's see. So it is going to be the Nova pickup here from Team Liquid. The Tassadar ban very likely for that Oracles, as well as the Shields and the Archons and fun stuff like that. But in terms of a healer, I'm thinking Rhaegar.
Could see Brightwing here, actually.
Yeah, go a bit more mobile, get the double bribe.
Definitely, because we've seen how strong they can be, especially with night camps and just putting pressure on mid. Like the last game that we saw on Curse Hollow, putting pressure on mid with those knights and pushing with that Tychus worked out so well.
It did, yeah, for sure. Oh, the suspense is killing me. It's game 3, and these are the last bans we're going to get today, the last picks.
I'm sad.
All good things come to an end, my friend, but there will be more Heroes content this weekend out there. I mean, you guys should be hitting up the Twitters and following all the various hashtags and casters and players because there's so many tournaments. And of course, HPL will be having their Day 2 NA on Sunday, their Day 1 EU on Monday. I know I'm going to be returning for that with Kevin Naki on Sunday. Not entirely too sure for the Monday yet, but you know, there's a lot of heroes to go around. Now, with these custom games, we're seeing so many tournaments coming out, and the meta is constantly evolving.
And I'm excited. That's all I can say is I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, especially with BlizzCon coming up. So much stuff is going to happen.
Yeah. All right, so you called it, sir. That's going to be the Brightwing, the double mobility, the double bribe combo right there.
Yeah, it's just so strong. I mean, Falset flies in, Brightwing ports to him, done. That camp is gone.
It is. No. We also saw that combo with the Chief comp way back in the day. I mean, you have a lot of uses for mobility in this game, and sometimes it just doesn't quite click in the beginning, but soon you'll see the power, guys. Soon. All right, Cloud9. They got a support. They got a tank, DPS. Kind of thinking they need another front liner, and Chen has been a favorite for them.
Chen and Noob. And they've been like, we just saw a Nubarak pick.
Wow, there's the Anubarak. So Anubarak Tyrael for the front line, Uther to heal Vala. Are they going to go single assassin?
I highly doubt it.
Well, who would they pick then here? Tychus is out. Falstead Nova on the board. Vala to go with? What?
You could go.
Zagara. So we're going to go into a specialist role. I wonder if Zuna's actually going to be playing that. I saw him playing that last weekend.
I think this is the first specialist we've seen tonight.
In this series. Yep. We saw 4 specialists in our range.
Oh, yeah. we saw Abathur earlier. This is the first Zagara.
All right. So not technically classified as a ranged assassin, but can do a good job mimicking it. The mid-game Moz as well can really set up nicely. Oh, kitty cat. They can't see. Last pickup here for Liquid. Has to be somebody a bit more tanky, or are they going to go for something like a triple assassin?
I want to see Diablo.
You've been saying Diablo all night, man. All night you want to see a Diablo.
I want to see Diablo on Curse. He's this. I love him.
I'm saying Sonya for the leap onto the straight.
I could see that too. But you could also see Diablo with his interruption. That's all I'm saying, man.
You just want to see an apocalypse, don't you? All right, 10 seconds. It's going to be an Abathur. All right. I can definitely go down with that. Double Nova, double Falset, or double frontline Arthas.
Double Shock and Awe is surprisingly good.
Late game, that's what, 2,600 damage combined?
Yep.
Like, tanks late game is probably like 8,000 hit points. You're talking like nearly a quarter to a half of a tank just right there.
Definitely. And the thing is, like, they can go every which way. I mean, if they need another tank, Arthas. Arthas works no matter where you go with him. Falset, more damage. Nova, more roam. I mean, you can go any way with it.
All right, guys. Again, it is Cursed Hollow, the double soak for Abathur, the double whatever he's going to be coming here with, and the double bride. Everything is all in doubles here for Team Liquid, as they're going to be looking to take home this series. On the flip side, Cloud9 winning game number 1 convincingly, lost game number 2, looking to make their comeback here. Cursed Hollow. This is all for the E-bragging, all for the E-fame, and a little bit of a rivalry maybe developing here pre-BlizzCon. Mr. D-Day, no matter what happens, it's been a pleasure here with you all day, sir.
Well, thanks for inviting me to come cast with you. Appreciate it.
Your insights have been definitely very useful. We're 10 out of 10 ready. I'm keeping an eye on here because game 3 coming our way. We also do have our winners now, so I do have the names in my pockets, and I think we're going to do that afterwards, unless Pride tells me to do it now. But we do have our winners selected, so thank you all so much for your support here at HPL, or all the likes, all the follows, all the whatever else the socials do. It's definitely very appreciated.
For sure, help support the streams, help support the leagues that are coming up, the esports scene. It's going to be a great time, guys.
I wonder if they're waiting for me to say that we're ready. I hope they're not waiting for me to say we're ready. Yeah, they're waiting for me to say we're ready. All right, Scumbag Jester holding up game number 3. You are in this one, right?
Yeah.
All right, game number 3 is ready to go. Awesome. Draft music can go away. We're going to jump in. Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Last game of the night, guys. Place your bets.
So hyped, man. Let's see what happens.
It has been an absolute pleasure watching Cloud9 in action. You know, when they announced their teams, like, well, I've seen Zuna around, but not really the others. But color me impressed going toe-to-toe here with Liquid. Color me impressed. I might have to actually reevaluate who's going to win BlizzCon.
I'm in the same boat, man. I mean, I can't tell, like, who's going to pull it out. They have 3 weeks, exactly 3 weeks, to find out who's going to take this.
And, of course, we need the hero sounds as well. Team Liquid, 3 out of 3, going to be spawning here on the left-hand side. Dunk Train on the Abathur, Biceps there on the Falstead, Pythix on the Nova. That leaves us with Liquid Chef, of course, on his Brightwing, and King Caffeine with the Arthas.
We have Cloud9 over here. We got Zuna on Anubarak. We have iDream on Uther. Jinte on Zagara. We have Bobby Hankill on Tyrael. And Vala is going to be Bishku.
And they're off to the races. Again, a 1-1-3 split. Looks like Cloud9 is going to be putting their heavy hitters down into the bot lane. That leaves Bishu kind of to do his thing top, and Bobby Hankill in the mid. Now, again, Tyrael, really good laner. He's going up against Biceps. That's a tough lane for a Falstead.
For sure. I mean, the shield, really difficult to break through. You got bottom lane, some stuff going on down there.
Yeah, King Caffeine's going to come to the rescue here of Liquid Sheth, and the body blocks plus the temp is real. The initiation on top of Sheth did not go the way that they thought it would, and first blood already to Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. We've seen Zuna like just go ham a little too much these past couple of games.
He has. He really has. I can't say anything against that one. Dream, however, is not going to learn from his folly, or maybe he will. One more auto attack doesn't happen. Sheth is going to be the one to take the fall, as well as the Arthas. Jinte and crew bringing it back. That was either the best bait I've ever seen from Dream, or Jinte and Zuna coming up huge.
Yeah, I have to kind of attribute that a little bit to luck.
A little bit to luck.
a little bit.
If you notice right now, Team Liquid, they only have Abathur top. That's is a problem. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you want to do. I mean, Abathur is so strong in lane no matter where you put him. Cross map, symbiotes, he turns any fight into a +1 for the side that has an Abathur.
Yeah, but unless he's going to infest his Locust or that creep wave, he's not getting any experience out of that.
Well, you got to be careful.
Agree, whatever that dog said.
You got to be careful of what you're doing with against a Vala, though. And pushing in lane, you're just going to expose yourself to ganks.
Yeah. All the party, however, is in this bottom lane. King Caffeine right here on top of the Zuna. Zuna's not taking really any kind of damage. The shields are strong with this one. They are level 4 now as well, so they got that talent tier just ahead of Team Liquid. And, you know, the double soak is great if you actually have your body of Abathur somewhere close to the front line. But, you know, Bishu's keeping that back. He's keeping it back.
Yeah, we actually see Vala going a Hungry Arrow build, which you don't see that often.
Oh, a nice attempt here on top of Jinte. That's going to be the Envenom on top of him. I think Pythix, however, might pay the price. King Caffeine, again, really low. So they trade out the Zagara for the Nova. A nice freeze coming in there from King Caffeine. But still, it's all about this bottom lane right now, right? And Bobby Hankill, he's been holding down this mid like expertly. I mean, Bishu has nothing to worry about. Bobby Hankill, nothing to worry about. It's all been the party bot lane, and right now Cloud9's up 3-2.
Yeah, and I can see it only getting worse as time goes on. It looks like they might actually hit 10 before Team Liquid does.
I'll have to see how this fight goes, because King Caffeine's getting real low. Abathur's on top of him. Jinte's Banelings don't quite connect, but I think Bishu might be able to take down the Lich King. No, Uther actually turns around.
And here's the thing, you have to keep in mind it. Look at what Team Liquid is doing. They're spreading out the lanes, gaining experience. Abathur is pushing top, soaking all that experience. They went into that fight almost a full level behind, and now they're ahead.
So giving up a tribute for that experience lead, they do want to race it to 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, because the first team to hit 10, if you can get like even a half a level advantage early on for the tribute, you're going to win that first team fight at level 10. You're going to take that tribute, and you're going to start snowballing from there, because you'll gain map control.
And this is sort of, again, a little bit curious. Earlier in our Cursed Hollow matches, we saw tribute, mercs, tribute, mercs. This round, almost like no interest in mercs whatsoever.
That is a little confusing, but you got to keep in mind that also Sheth and Biceps both have Bribe. So they're just waiting for the right time to get that night camp to just start pushing with it.
So it's very similar then to the previous game. They're just waiting for that timing.
Exactly, and that's what all these maps are about, is just timing the mercs perfectly. We saw it time and time again with the Giants, them making sure that it was timed perfectly so that the Golem was just going to get beat down by those Giants instead of just letting it push for free, destroy those Giants quickly.
What is the quickest time you can get max Bribe? If you've never left lane, you don't get any kind of pressure, you're looking at, what, 4.5 minutes?
Yeah, just about. So just about now they should be able to get it.
And they did. Biceps goes off and gets himself the Giants. I think Either Chef is a little bit behind, or he's not really that interested. You see how Abathur actually just poke up into the bottom lane, but no contest here at this tribute.
But you still have Abathur soaking.
Yes, you do.
Which is key.
Yeah. Jinte and Zuna going to be basically racing back down to the bot lane. I like the creep tumor spread. I mean, I don't quite think they can see Dunk Train in that bush, though.
I believe they can.
Really? That entire creep? Not just the tumor?
Well, actually, I think the tumor does have to be in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Either way, he did kind of show himself off. But in terms of the race, they've given up 2 tributes. Doesn't actually look like these Giants up top are going to get too much done. Bishu's been pretty on top of them. They're pretty low hit points, and yeah, they're going to drop now. That leaves us with basically the race to 10, and Liquid is on par for it. But 2 tributes, that's a heck of a price, man.
Definitely, and they have to hit 10. If they don't get 10 before this tribute spawns and the fight begins, it could spell disaster for Liquid.
Well, we do got the Knights now coming down here from Cloud9. Bobby, Hankhill, Zuna, iDream just kind of doing their thing. This is a good opportunity to hit 10 before, and there we go. Team Liquid is going to grab it. And you can see Nova, she's kind of roaming down here, but those mobile wards there from Jinte should see him, doesn't matter, does dodge out that snipe, but it's not going to be enough for the Envenom. Jinte is going to pop, and the tribute is spawning. Excellent timing from Team Liquid.
Definitely. That was perfect timing on killing Zagara, making sure that soak can't happen. You got double Arthas here from Dunk Train.
So it is going to be double Arthas for the front line. They're not even going to go top. They say, all right, we got this in the pocket. We're going to go get a goal.
It's the way to do it. I mean, take advantage of what you got. You help kill Zagara. They're going to play conservatively so they don't lose a team fight and have a complete wipe on their side of the team.
Now, we saw earlier Falstad and Arthas combo were able to actually just solo down their golem. So double Arthas, yeah, absolutely no problem. Pythix was there for the moral support, really. At the same time, Cloud9, they realized everyone's off map. They're probably doing the golem. Jinte didn't bother going back bottom. He's actually helping him with his team as they're 5-stacking into their own golem. So that's a really good response.
Yeah, what they might end up doing is pushing this fort down, trying to get 13 before that tribute.
Oh,
tribute spawning now.
Now,
and
yep, go ahead.
And you see here, Cloud9 is pushing top. Tribute spawn, they're going to be 2 for 2. I think Liquid knows that they're just going to push with it and take this fort and then go for tribute.
Yeah, basically the same thought was on my mind. Even if they lose out this tribute, it's not game. I mean, it'll be 2-2. So they got those early 2 advantage, and now they're using that as a cushion to push with this golem. And in terms of a push comp, who has it better?
Honestly, I think probably Team Liquid. I mean, you have Zagara on top.
Liquid's the ones that's backing off.
They're going to hit 13 before them, though.
Okay, but they're still backing off.
they're backing off, but you have to think that Falstad now has Rewind, too. And so does Brightwing.
The Rewind Brightwing is real, yeah. You can see the impaling spikes coming out. That's a talent to keep them there, but King Caffeine and crew, I mean, they did not go for this push. Abathur is soaking the bot. I mean, he's fairly safe at this point. Nobody can kind of instantly teleport to him. But the Watchtower is now taken here by Cloud9. And if this next tribute opens up in this top area, that might be a curse for them.
For sure. And you can see they're all rotating top right now.
Dunk Train is trying his best noodle impression down here. That's a great skin, by the way. There we go. Now we got the ult. Everyone is going to be clamoring for this ult, or for this tribute.
And they're waiting for the Vala pickoff.
Yeah, they are. They might actually get it. Bishu does get caught out. Really low hit points. Nice stun and heal there from iDream, keeping him alive. Dunk Train is in hot pursuit. The shock and awe going down. Bobby Hank Hill is going to be the first one to drop, and Nova is going to be dropping there as well. The strafe going out from Bishu does bring Chef low. Zuna there in the back is going to get picked off, I think, by Falstad, King Caffeine, and Dunk Train. The double Arthas is just doing work up against Cloud9. A good catch on top of Zuna, and then when all things are said and done, cursed to Team Liquid, only losing out the Nova, 3 kills their way, and that's going to be a few forts under their belt.
And what we could see end up happening, depending on who has bribe stacks, you see Falstad flying down, grabbing those giants, pushing bottom with it.
Yeah, you think that could actually happen? It is sitting there ready to go. I'm more interested to see if Bishu's actually going to get out of this one. The Abathur symbiote is keeping him down. iDream, however, does get body blocked out. Nice smite there from Bobby Hankill just to keep King Caffeine a little bit closer towards that Bishu damage line, but I'm not sure they have the damage. The Hungering Arrow is trying his best. That's going to be the stun from Uther, but still not enough. And Liquid Chef throwing out the Emerald just as insurance. This is why Arthas is top tier, guys.
And Dunk Train is running for his life right now.
Yeah. This is actually a really funny looking scene. Like a giant skull running from a Bug Lord. But Chet's going to come down. Wow, they're actually going to try to save out Abathur at this point. Zuna becomes a crab, and he's not going to get the kill. Well played, Chet.
Definitely. It's got to be so frustrating for Zuna there.
It's going to be frustrating for anyone in that situation.
We're seeing Zuna pick up Burning Rage.
Yeah.
Which is something I've been seeing a lot lately, is people have been going with the Carrion Swarm on top of Burning Rage, and it does work. Like, he dives in the middle of a team fight, has that lifesteal, and he's dealing damage at the same time on top of Burning Rage.
You can kind of see the flames here surrounding him. So in terms of a body blocker, I mean, he does have a big potential to get into the into the back line with those skills. So some nice passive damage. Yeah, it goes a long way. What a combo! Jintai getting destroyed. Bobby Hankill and Zuna on the retreat, and there's those giants you were looking for, sir.
Yeah, and they're slow. Like, I could see Liquid shifted over to more like choke your enemy out type of strategy, because they're going for the Mercs. They're not diving straight in because they know they can win team fights. They're slowly just grinding away at them.
5-on-4 is going to ensue here if Cloud9 does try to push their luck. They are down 2 levels and 1 talent tier. King Caffeine catches Bobby Hankill, but it's not really going to amount to anything. The Knights, however, will go the way of Liquid. They have basically total Merc control. Everything is blue on this map, which is very fitting for Team Liquid.
Yeah, and you can see down here that we actually have Golem spawning in 15 seconds. They might rotate down, take that, push with Golem to end.
Well, the top one's at 23, and the bottom one's at 7 now. Looks like they are more interested in the bot. Since they were all top, I kind of expected them to just kind of hang around and try to bait it out, but well, I guess that's why I'm not a pro.
Well, you have Cloud9 is definitely back, like they're against the wall right now. They can't really let them get that Golem, but they can't fight against it because they're just, their team fight potential is so much better with double Arthas.
And Chef up here with the double bribe, yeah. So that's going to be the Golem and the Giants. You can see they're making a beeline straight up to that other one. Nobody really on the map here from Cloud9, so I mean it's a good suspect to say that they're probably doing their Golem, but Pipix is going to find there's no one there. In fact, it's just going to go away Liquid. Like, there's absolutely no pressure at all from Cloud9.
And they've only taken 1 fort. There's not much they can do. They can't backdoor. They can't take any mercs. At this point, you're just kind of just trying to engage at the right moment and just try to win a team fight. You can clear a team fight. You can potentially win the match this late, or it's not even this late. It's 12 minutes in.
It's the longest cursed game we've had today. But at the same time, again, like we said, you know, most games ending under 20 minutes, some of them even 15. Today, average was closer to 10. This is definitely a game where big coordinated plays can lead into massive advantages that just cannot be contested. And right now, as you said, back up against the wall. Team Cloud9, they have to do something here, and I'm not too sure Zuna getting caught is going to be it. I mean, King Caffeine, he's going to get in there. Bishu's actually going to get caught out. A little bit of damage going his way. This Golem and the Giants are just wrecking these buildings. The Maud's going to go down. I think it only caught 1. Yeah, it only caught King Caffeine. And again, like these ultimates getting spent out here by Cloud9, not amounting to anything, and this push will continue on.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do against a Golem. With the Golem pushing with the team right behind it, you're going to get stunned if you're not careful. You get stunned, you're going to die pretty much instantly if you're anywhere near that team.
Bicep's going to fly down for this? Nah, they're not in a hurry. Not whatsoever. We do got a ping down here at the Giants. 30-second spawn there. The rest of the Cloud9 looks like they're actually going to try to chase down Shet, but it's not going to be enough. I think he actually sprinted out of that one, but man, it is still very much a Team Liquid game. I mean, if Cloud9 can get any kind of pick, they have a basis. We saw them do it in game 1, but they have to get that pick, and it's really, really hard to even leave bases.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 Arthuses on the front line. They can't move. They're just being slowed consistently. They get rooted if they try to do anything, and they just get picked off by Nova Felstad.
There's the second bribe coming in. It looks like only 1 charge, but the shock and awe goes down. Jintai is going to be the actual target. He gets precision strike. We did have that judgment go out. Bobby Hank Hill. It looks like Nova will drop. Zuna, however, is probably going to be joining her. That's a great explode there from Tiro. It does take down Chef and brings the Falstead low. Zuna is going to be alive for now. Dunk Train with his entourage kind of in pursuit. Oh, wow. That was actually a really good Abathur trap. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough for Zuna. So when all said is done, 3-2 for the kills, still going the way of Team Liquid.
And they're potentially going to get a curse here, too. They might hold off on it to wait until half the team respawns, grab it, so there's more time in between the next curse.
You say that. Oh, no. I think Biceps is trolling. Like, that was split second right there. Is he actually trolling? Nope.
No.
They're just going to use it. I kind of agree with waiting, but this is basically a wasted curse at this point.
Well, that was probably the best thing to do, though, because they grabbed it right before they knew that the other team was spawning. Gave it a good window, took the curse, made it so that their minions aren't going to be able to push at all. Like, they're going to push all lanes simultaneously, and now they're all up. They can engage now.
Yeah, and they're not leaving it on the table either. Like, they couldn't just leave it there because we do have 2 in the bank here from Cloud9. Those first 2 tributes, if you recall, did go to way the Cloud9, but we're 20 now. For Team Liquid. They raced to 20 and they got it here at 15 minutes.
So now we have 2 precision strikes from Nova. We have Resurgence from Arthas, which is going to be
nuts.
Yeah. And Abathur, just, you can't catch an Abathur typically.
And look at this setup. I don't think they're going to be quite in position to stop the Knights, and they're not. But we've seen that before as well. Big fights there, especially with 1 talent tier advantage. We just hit 19 for Cloud9. They are definitely wounded. They do not want to be fighting, but at the same time, they have very small areas of places to get experience. So they're going to go in. Yeah, Zuna's going to go for the Shet. That's a great mod. It's going to grab 2 of them right there. King Caffeine is going to drop low. That's good. The Judgment on top of Pythix, but out comes Biceps with that. The shock and awe. You see the Emerald win, keeping Zuna and crew at bay. iDream's going to be real low, but right now it is a 1-for-1 trade. King Caffeine trying his best, cannot secure the kill on top of iDream. This gate is still right here, and it's still fairly healthy. And despite everything, even with that level 20 advantage, good placements from Cloud9 actually put them on par.
For sure, that Maw saved them. Like, that was key in the fight that they just had. So
I'm not sure Zuna's going to get out of this one. King Caffeine's looking for it. No, but he does juke it out. Bishu, however, was the turnaround. Really low hit points right there. Core is at 80%, but I don't think Team Liquid can push it.
Red team's core is under attack.
You're muted, bro.
sorry. Gotta make sure that they don't get another tribute. Like, if they let Liquid get another one, they're not going to win this game. Like, there's no chance. So they have to make sure that they get the 20 before this next tribute spawns. They have to get it. They have to make sure that they have a solid team fight and they can push with it.
Where's the Abathur right now? He's just kind of hanging out bottom lane. All right, so there's not really going to be anything big coming out right now. There's the talents for you, ladies and gents. It's really hard to kind of weave it in. These 2 teams have been just going at it since the 30-second mark. So take a screenshot, do whatever you want. Of course, you can look them all up again at heroesfire.com if you really have any kind of questions. A lot of guides there from Team Liquid. Hint, hint. Right now, though, that golem push into the bottom lane, I mean, tribute be damned. I think they might actually go for that big bottom push.
I can see that too. They got golem pushing bottom. They're going for the win right now.
Yeah, level 20 does come out. Dream does get off that stun, but that's the double precision, and I don't think there's enough to stop this YOLO push. There's a golem coming in. We do get the kill on top of Brightwing. There goes Nova. We're gonna lose out the Arthas, and it's just in time to look pretty for that destruction. Team Liquid are your winners, 2-1 in this best of 3 here at HPL, and damn, what a series it was.
It definitely was, man. I wasn't too surprised to see Team Liquid pull it out in the end. They had to refocus after that first game, make sure they were making good choices throughout the game. They made some key mistakes in the very beginning with the Haunted Mines map, but they turned it around and won the series, which isn't much of a surprise, but Cloud9 did put up a pretty good fight.
You know, they came out swinging. Game number 1, I was really impressed. They brought it back. You know, it was basically a sure win situation from Team Liquid, and they turned it around. I was hoping to see something like that here, but we've seen some very dominant gameplay from Cursed Hollow. I mean, I don't know whose favorite map it is, but people are playing this map, and they're getting those wins. And Team Liquid, they YOLO'd the core, they lost all their lives, but hey, they won, right?
Definitely. And like Curse Hollow is one of those maps where you get some really, really good games. Like I'm sure like seeing what these teams are going to be like at BlizzCon, it's going to be a completely different dynamic. You're going to see Cloud9, they're going to be much better with their initiations. Zuna isn't going to be diving as hard, I hope.
I hope, yeah.
And that's one thing is like a lot of people tend to overextend with warriors just because they're so tanky. And I think that's one mistake that Zuna was making.
Yeah, we saw that consistently. But, you know, in game number 1 with the Chen, he did it really well. Game number 2 was a little bit more off the rock. He could have been a little bit on edge. I mean, this is the first public kind of show match that we have with these teams. And now we have a little bit of a taste about what BlizzCon's going to be like. So BlizzCon hype, I will see you there. And hopefully a lot of our viewers will be there as well. Since you guys have stuck around quite a while, we started broadcast at 7. It's now midnight here, Eastern. We have a few winners. So we have been doing our Dead Week giveaway. Those that did go out and hit those likes, hit those subscribes, we got 4 winners. So if you hear your name, not entirely too sure how we're going to get in contact with you, but say something there in the chat and Pride will hopefully pick you up. We'll also be sending you messages there on the various social medias that you did subscribe to. So that's actually a much better idea. Twitter goes to Tamsin, Mr. Michael Jenkins. You're getting yourself a little itty bitty chibi little figurine, the Blizzard capsule. From Facebook, Megan Wilson, congratulations. From YouTube, David Stratton. You're also going to be contacted for your own little figurine.